Hey, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like no matter how insanely hard you work, you're just stuck? Like there's this invisible, frustrating ceiling on your bank account. And honestly, the harder you push, the more stressed out you get. Well, today we are going to walk through this really powerful explainer of a practical 10-step transformation guide. It's totally designed to pull you out of that scarcity mindset and drop you firmly into a state of abundance. And look, this isn't just about sitting around wishing for things. It's a structured, actionable process based on how we literally subconsciously sabotage our own success. By the end of this, you're going to have a clear, actionable roadmap to completely rewire your thinking. Okay, let's dive right into this map we've got. To make this journey super achievable, these 10 steps are grouped into 6 main phases: diagnosing the scarcity mind, challenging your current beliefs, shifting your focus and behavior, regulating your nervous system, building a new identity, and wrapping it all up with gratitude and repetition. Let's get right into it. Phase 1. The scarcity mind. Now, right off the bat, it is absolutely crucial to validate your own reality here. Scarcity affects pretty much all of us, but everyone starts from a totally unique point. You can't compare your starting line to your brother's or your neighbor's. It's like comparing apples and oranges. You have to look inward. So, the very first step? Grab an actual physical pen and paper. You need to identify and write down your specific beliefs about money and worthiness. We all have these invisible programs running in the background, right? Phrases like, money is hard to come by, or there's never anything left over for me. Getting these thoughts out of your head and physically onto paper exposes the exact programs that are actively blocking your abundance. Moving right into phase 2, challenging those current beliefs. So, you've got your list on paper. Now you have to look at every single one of those beliefs and ask yourself a really tough question. Is this an absolute fact, or is it just something I was programmed to believe? Think about it. An absolute truth is like gravity. If you drop a pen, it falls. That law applies to everyone, period. But a learned belief? That's something like, wealth is only for the privileged, or rich people are just snobs. If you subconsciously associate wealth with being a bad person, your brain is going to actively sabotage any attempt you make to get rich. Why? Because deep down, you don't want to be a bad person. When you realize these are just learned associations and not laws of physics, you can actually start dismantling them. Once you start questioning everything, step 3 is creating a new, realistic belief. But watch out, because there is a huge trap here. You absolutely must maintain psychological safety. If you are drowning in debt and you suddenly start looking in the mirror shouting, "I am a millionaire," your brain is going to completely reject it. It'll trigger immediate self-sabotage, basically telling you, stop being ridiculous. Look at all these bills. You can't just jump straight from 0 to 100 like that. Instead, you got to feed your brain a softer, much more believable truth. This prevents that rejection and builds a realistic bridge toward where you want to be. Start with stepping stone phrases like, "I'm learning to manage my money better," or "It's safe for me to earn more." By feeding your brain these smaller, totally digestible shifts, your mind won't throw up a brick wall and you can actually begin rewriting those neural pathways. Phase 3, focus and behavior change. A scarcity mind is literally obsessed with what's missing. It hyper-focuses on debts, problems, and the fact that you don't have that massive flat-screen TV. To shift into abundance, you must actively train your attention to hunt for proof of wealth in your life right now. And it's wild how simple this evidence actually is. I mean, want to overwhelm your brain with proof? Just look around. Open your wardrobe. You definitely have more clothes than you strictly need. Look at your shoes. If you have more than one pair, mathematically speaking, you are already living in abundance. A pantry with food, internet access, hot water. When you actively force your mind to focus on this massive list of things you already own, rather than the luxury stuff you don't, your entire energetic state shifts. But here's the kicker, guys. Reprogramming isn't just about thinking happy thoughts. You have to take action. It requires a change in behavior. This means physically organizing your finances, making an actual plan to eliminate your debts, studying up, and most importantly, you need to start acting like the person who already has what you want. If your future abundant self is super focused, centered, and disciplined, well, you need to adopt those exact behaviors right now, today. Phase 4, regulating the nervous system. This one's a profound physiological shift. See, if your body is trapped in survival mode, constantly stressed and anxious about bills, it will physically block you from manifesting or accepting new opportunities. A dysregulated nervous system just can't be creative. It's way too busy trying to keep you alive. You have to teach your body that it is safe to expand. Just take a deep breath right now and ask yourself, is it safe for me to receive more? For so many of us, there's this hidden subconscious ceiling. We hit a certain level of success, and anything beyond that feels genuinely terrifying to our nervous system. By consciously asking and affirming, "It is safe for me to receive more," you start to gently break down those physical limits you've placed on yourself. All right, phase 5, building a new identity. There's an absolute golden rule in personal transformation. Your identity must transform before your external reality can catch up. You simply cannot achieve an abundant life if your core identity is tied to scarcity. You've got to stop identifying with lack. So many of us casually call ourselves poor, maybe just as a joke or to be relatable. Actually, scratch that. You need to stop doing this immediately. Whatever you affirm becomes your identity, and your identity builds your reality. If you speak lack into existence, you are going to live a reality of lack, period. Instead, adopt the new identity. I am prosperous and abundant. I have everything I need. Now, to really lock in this new identity, you need new references. Here's a great story from our source material. The author used to think earning a certain amount, like $10,000, was this gigantic, totally unreachable ceiling. But then she started connecting with successful people, working alongside millionaires who started from the exact same humble beginnings she did. And guess what? That mental ceiling completely shattered. Exposure to new realities is real-world proof that massive success isn't just for some privileged few. Whether it's through networking, curating your social media, or reading biographies, surrounding yourself with new references literally shows your brain that entirely new paths are possible. And finally, phase 6, gratitude and constant repetition. Making peace with your current reality through genuine gratitude is the ultimate prerequisite for expansion. You literally cannot leap into a massive future if you're bitter and angry about your present. It's fascinating because the author of our source material actually confessed that during her hardest times, she felt deep resentment towards people preaching about gratitude. She just couldn't stand it. But then she realized something huge. Vibrating in a state of scarcity and resentment only attracts more scarcity. To get more, you have to make peace with what you have right now and deeply value it. So how do you make all this actually stick? Rigorous repetition. Living in scarcity feels normal to a lot of us because, frankly, it's a generational habit passed down through our families. Your brain is going to resist at first, it's going to complain and feel super insecure, but you must absolutely and rigorously repeat these steps. Affirm the new beliefs, truly feel the gratitude, and do it over and over again until abundance becomes your new default state. Because when abundance is normalized in your mind, it becomes your reality. And when your nervous system is finally regulated and you're operating from a place of gratitude, everyday magic actually starts to happen. Take this amazing little anecdote from the source material. The author was at work on a chilly day and casually craved a hot chocolate. She didn't stress over it or obsess about how to get it. A few minutes later, a coworker walked right into her office and handed her a hot chocolate topped with whipped cream and an Oreo cookie, just saying, "Hey, I was getting coffee and thought of you." I mean, that is pure synchronicity. It just proves that when you are aligned, grateful, and unblocked, things simply flow to you effortlessly. So here's what I want to leave you with. Before you ask the universe for more money or a better job or a totally different life, can you genuinely be grateful for what's sitting right in front of you today? Because the moment you truly feel that gratitude, you turn the key that unlocks everything else. Grab that pen and paper and start your transformation right now.